Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Grand Ole Opry show. We are the Country Boys, and we enjoy traveling all over the world with the great little Jimmy Dickens, and he'll be out here very shortly to entertain you folks. Right now, I hope to enjoy the Country Boys for a few songs, and I hope you folks are country music fans. They don't call us the Country Boys for nothing. That's all we know how to play and all we try to play, so I hope you came to listen to some country music. And I'd like to ask you to do us all a great big old favor while we're up here. If you should happen to see or hear anything you like, well, if you'd maybe remove your hands from where you have them now and smack them together, we'd appreciate it. And then after that, you go back to enjoying yourselves again. That way we'll all get along fine together. And I hope we'll do some of your favorite songs. Here's an old Ray Price song I enjoy doing. Maybe it's one of your favorites. You're doing lots of things that ain't right. You're out with a different party almost every night. And you're making me look like a crazy fool. So why do I have these doubts about leaving you? 'Cause my heart tells me stay, but my pride tells me go. How can I leave you when I love you so? Which way should I turn? I'd sure like to know. My heart tells me stay, but my pride tells me go. To drive you from my mind and make you a memory I'd like to leave behind. I know only heartaches are what you'll put me through. So why do I have these doubts about leaving you? 'Cause my heart tells me stay, but my pride tells me go. How can I leave you when I love you so? Which way should I turn? I'd sure like to know. My heart tells me stay, but my pride tells me go. Yes, my heart tells me stay, but my pride tells me go. Thank you very much. You're a good audience. We appreciate that. Here's a George Strait song. It goes almost like this. Pardon me, you left your tears on the jukebox, and I'm afraid they got mixed up with mine. I don't mean to pry, it's just that I noticed you going out of your mind. Looks like we're two of a kind. Let's fall to pieces together. Why should we both fall apart? Let's fall to pieces together right here in each other's arms. is much better together. When the worst is still yet to come, so let's share the rest of the tears that are left from two hearts that just came undone. Why should we go crazy alone? Let's fall to pieces together. Why should we both fall apart? Let's fall to pieces together, right here in each other's arms. Let's fall to pieces together, right here in each other's arms. Thank you. Thank you very much. As I said earlier, these are the country boys up here, and I want you to listen to each one of them perform, but I always let little Jimmy Dickens tell you who they are and where they're from, because when you pay a bunch of dummies as much as he pays...
Dummies? What do you mean?
We getting paid for this?
Musicians, as much as he pays them, you deserve to call them anything you want to, so I always let him do that. Young man back here on the drums is one of the finest country drummers working out of Nashville, Tennessee, and one of the better singers that you'll ever listen to anywhere. How about making him feel welcome, folks, and he'll sing real pretty for you.
I can't stand to see a good man go to waste, one who never combs his hair or shaves his face, a man who lives on wine over love that's told a lie. Oh, it tears me up to see a grown man cry. And I never go around mirrors. I can't stand to see me without you by my side. And I never go around mirrors, 'cause I've got a heartache to hide. Around mirrors, I can't stand to see me without you by my side. And I never go around mirrors, 'cause I've got a heartache to hide. and it tears me up to see a grown man cry. Thank you. We're going to slow things down a little bit and do a Merle Haggard song. Goes like this right here. Rolling with the flow, going where the lonely go, anywhere the lights are low, going where the lonely go, making up things to do, not running in all directions trying to find you. I'm just rolling with the flow, going where the lonely go. I got to keep going, I can't lay down, sleep won't hardly come where there's loneliness all around. I got to keep going, traveling down that lonesome road. I'm just rolling with the flow, going where the lonely go. I can't lay down, sleep won't hardly come where there's loneliness all around. I got to keep going, traveling down that lonesome road. I'm just rolling with the flow, going where the lonely go. I'm just rolling with the flow, going where the lonely go.
Thank you. How about that boy? Really sings, don't he? Mighty fine. Young man over here on my right's been playing the guitar so pretty on all these songs. Also a very fine country singer. How about making him feel welcome? He'll speed things up a little bit for us.
1 and G? Yeah, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Long ago and far away, in my old common labor shoes, thank you, well, I turned the world all which way, just because you asked me to. like unto no other feel. Simple love is simple truth, and there's no end to what I do, just because you asked me to. Let the world call me a fool, but if things are right with me and you, well, that's all that matters, and I'll do anything you ask me to. Let the world call me a fool, but if things are right with me and you, well, that's all that matters, and I'll do anything you ask me to. Make it move. Knowing how much I love you, and after all that we've been through, well, I'd turn and walk away from you, just because you asked me to. Lord, I hope you never do. Let the world call me a fool, but if things are right with me and you, that's all that matters, and I'll do anything you ask me to. Hey, let the world call me a fool, but if things are right with me and you, well, that's all that matters, and I'll do anything you ask me to. That's all. Thank you. Thank you. Here's a Willie Nelson song. I hope you like it. 1, 2, 3. Well, it's a bloody merry morning. Baby's left me without warning sometime in the night, and I'm flying down to Houston, forgetting her the nature of my flight. As we taxied toward the runway, the smog and haze reminded me of how I feel. I'm just a country boy learning that the pitfalls of the city are extremely real. The nightlife and the parties, temptation and deceit, the order of the day. It's a bloody merry morning, and I'm leaving baby somewheres in L.A. Well, it's a bloody merry morning, baby's left me without warning sometime in the night, and I'm flying down to Houston, forgetting her the nature of my flight. Well, it's a bloody merry morning, baby's left me without warning sometime in the night, and I'm flying down to Houston, forgetting her the nature of my flight. Here it comes. Well, our golden jet is airborne and Flight 50 cuts a path across the morning sky. And a voice comes through the speakers reassuring us, Flight 50, that's the way to fly. The hostess takes our order, coffee, tea, or something stronger to start off the day. It's a bloody merry morning, and I'm leaving baby somewheres in L.A. Well, it's a bloody merry morning, baby's left me without warning sometime in the night. And I'm flying down to Houston, forgetting her the nature of my flight. Well, it's a bloody merry morning, baby's left me without warning sometime in the night. And I'm flying down to Houston, forgetting her the nature of my flight. Thank you.
The Country Boys. How about it, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Right now it's my pleasure to introduce a gentleman to you folks who, for the past 36 years, has been one of the brightest stars of the world-famous Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. Some people refer to him as being little but loud. I know for a fact that he got his education out behind the barn, way up in the hills of West Virginia, and he became world famous when his mama told him to take an old cold tater and wait. Here is a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame and the greatest entertainer in country music today, the one and only Little Jimmy Dickens.
Folks, it's a long, long time since I laid eyes on you. And I know I ain't seen Mary Lou since 1952. So Mom and Papa have asked me if I'd write and let you know we're planning on a big reunion in a week or so. Gonna have a family reunion, and a good old-fashioned outdoor barbecue. Gonna have a family reunion, and even if you're a 19th cousin, you're invited too. Virginia's coming, so is Susie Q. And Busy Lizzie's gonna bring a brand new baby too. Well, I guess old Uncle Joe will show up loaded to the gills. That's alright, I got some guaranteed hangover pills. Gonna have a family reunion, and a good old-fashioned outdoor barbecue. Gonna have a family reunion, and even if you're a 19th cousin, you're invited too. All right. Can't hear my monitor. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and a very pleasant good evening to you. And I do hope that you're enjoying the efforts of our people to entertain you in their own simple manner. I'm Little Jimmy Dickens, or Johnny Cash after taxes. I've been called everything. I was out there a while ago, and a lady walked by and said, "Lord have mercy, there's Mighty Mouse in his pajamas." I can't win. No way I turn. Take my picture, sir. Thank you very much. Hurry up. Did you get it? Don't you sneak up on me like that. You make me nervous. I'm nervous enough. I'm shaking like a cow being milked with a cold pair of pliers now. I'm in a terrible shape. I developed a crick in my neck yesterday afternoon. I had an accident. I was putting some toilet water on my neck, and the darn lid fell down and hit me. That hurts, don't it? I like to kill this little hillbilly. And I'll not talk about the night that I spent in the motel last night. Lord have mercy, that was scandalous. I never heard such carrying on in all my life. People was a-running and a-hollered and a-screaming, and some old girl beat on my door all night. I finally got up about 6 and let her out.
You let her out? You should have sent her over to our room.
Sending nobody to your room, you sneaky-looking bunch of devils. You were just making as much noise as the rest of them was.
That wasn't us.
Had I heard you in there having that party?
That wasn't us.
The walls aren't as thick as you think when you've got a glass to your ear, I'll tell you that.
That wasn't us.
I had them all tuned in. They had some lady convinced they were candy salesmen.
Candy salesman.
Well, I know you did. She kept a hollering, "Oh, Henry, oh, Henry, oh, Henry." Which one's Mr. Goodbar? I guess that's him over there. Turn my mic up. I'm telling you, I got so angry, I just wrote me a couple of songs. I'm going to sing them tonight if I ever get in tune.
I'd like to hear 'em.
All right, I got a new one here for you, Calvin. You'll love it. Wrote it about my last night's experience. It's called "I'll Meet You in the Spring If I Can Get Through the Mattress."
Okay.
It's the name of that. I have others. I wrote one for my good friend Freddie Fender. He'll love it. It's called "Oh Lord, Send Me a Blonde. I'm Tired of Squeezing Blackheads."
Now that's a hit. That's a hit song.
I write them all the time. I just run down the interstate and jump off at the truck stop and sit down in the men's room and take them off the wall. They're there for you. You can get them if you want to. You get them out of the ladies' room if you want to go in.
The ladies' room.
They write more than we do, dummy. They got both hands free. Think about it. Up and down the wall.
I never thought about that.
Lipstick, eyebrow pencil, it don't make no difference to them. I've got to tune this guitar now, folks, before I can do anything. I don't know what I'm going to do. If I ever get it right, I'm going to weld it. I'll get it right after a while. This don't cost anything extra. My pappy used to tan my hide out behind the barn. He taught me to be dignified out behind the barn. And when he took his strap to me and turned me down across his knee, he sure did hurt my dignity out behind the barn. Yeah, I smoked my first cigarette out behind the barn. Now that's a day I won't forget out behind the barn. I got sick, you should have seen how that tobacco turned me green. I almost died from nicotine out behind the barn. I got my education out behind the barn. I ain't a foolin', no siree. Passed its examination out behind the barn, and it almost made a wreck out of me. All right. I met a pretty girl one day out behind the barn. She wanted me to stay and play out behind the barn. And she taught me to kiss and pet. That's a game I won't forget. We still play the same game yet out behind the barn. I sure would like to go again out behind the barn and do some things that I did then out behind the barn. You might think it ain't no fun to be a poor old farmer's son. You just don't know what all I've done out behind the barn. I got my education out behind the barn. I ain't a foolin', no siree. Passed its examination out behind the barn, and it almost made a wreck out of me. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the applause on that silly little song out behind the barn. I didn't learn much out there, but I ain't forgot none of it. It is important because where I came from, I was lucky to get an education behind the barn. Raised so far back in the hills of West Virginia, had to order my haircuts from Sears and Roebuck's catalog. We used that catalog a lot down there in the hills. Some of you know what I'm talking about, don't you? And if you've been there, it was tough in December when you hit them slick pages. Now, poor people have poor ways, and we were definitely among them. We were the only family in our county with wall-to-wall children. Had 15 kids, 6 boys, 6 girls, and 3 others. 3 sets of twins, Pete, Repeat, Kate, Duplicate, Max, and Climax. That was their name. Now, I had one little old brother I felt sorry for. He was the last one to get there, and by the time they got to the 15th kid, they'd run out of names, and I named him after my mama and daddy. Daddy's name was Ferdinand, Mama's name was Liza, named him Fertilizer. Meanest kid in the world. My mother took him downtown shopping in one of them crowded department stores, and in front of 100 folks, he ran up and said, "I got to go to the bathroom." And my mama said, "Wait a minute, young man, that's embarrassing, and the next time you want to do that, tell me you want to whisper and I'll know what you mean." 2 nights later, I was laying on the couch, and that little devil run up to me and said, Jim, we want to whisper. And I said, okay, baby, whisper right there in old Jim's ear. Lord have mercy. Sure glad he wasn't old enough to carry on a long conversation, I'll tell you. I'm telling you. Let me do an old song that's a standard. If I ever get this guitar in tune, anybody here know how to tune one? Pee-wee, can you help me? All right, I think I'm pretty good shape for the time being. From the great Atlantic Ocean to the white Pacific shore, she glides along the woodland, the hill, and by the shore. From the queen of flowery mountains where the rippling waters fall, she's the regular combination called the Wabash Cannonball. And she came down to Birmingham one cold December day. As she rode into the station, you could hear the people say, hey, there's a gal from Tennessee, she's long and she's tall. And she rode into Birmingham on the Wabash Cannonball.
Jim, he forgot the words again.
No, I didn't forget no words. Now, come on.
He's just getting old, folks. Don't worry.
Come on now, Dave.
He'll be with you in a minute.
Leave me alone now. I ain't getting old. I can jump as high as ever, but I can't stay up as long.
You forgot the words again.
No, I didn't. I had my mind on something else. I was thinking about my favorite television program.
You must mean General Hospital.
No, One Life to Live.
No such thing. My favorite television program is called Hee Haw. I love that. That's my favorite. I love that old show for a reason. Because once a year, they run out of talent. And they call Little Jim, and I go running. Yeah, I do. I jump right in there with that bunch of heavies. Heavies more ways than one. That's a big bunch of boogers. Look them over. Kenny Price. Can't y'all see me in a haystack with Lulu? Think about that. Let her search for the needle. It won't bother me none. Roy Clark. Every time I see Roy Clark, he says, Little Jim, have you got a story you can give me that I can use on Hee Haw?
Well, Jim, did you have a Hee Haw story ready for him this year?
Roy knows that I make them up.
You make them up?
Son, I've got a sack full of them things. I make them up all the time.
Do you have a Hee Haw story you could share with us today?
Well, I might share one with you here. Would you like to hear one, Calvin? You want to hear a Hee Haw story?
I'd love to hear a Hee Haw.
Once upon a time, this won't take long. Once upon a time, there was a cowboy, and he was riding out across the plains on his horse. I don't need that. You can leave that out. I didn't say anything about a lame horse, just a horse. This cowboy was riding this horse out across the plains, and all of a sudden, he looked down on the ground, and there's an old Indian lying there, on the ground with his ear to the ground. And when the cowboy rode up, the old Indian with his ear to the ground held his hand up, and he said, 4 horses pull wagon. Front seat of wagon, man and woman. Follow behind wagon, 100 head of goat.
Goats.
Goat.
Goats.
Old Indians say goat.
Goats.
Old Indians say itchy-I-unge chapikini-mohi.
Now, what does that mean?
I'm not sure, but I think it means guitar players play guitars, little hillbillies tell jokes. I think that's what that means. And the cowboy looked down at that old Indian and he said, good Lord, old Indian, can you really hear all that? And the old Indian say, me hear nothing. Run over me 4 days ago. Oh! Hey! Eastern states stand east, so the western people say. From New York to St. Louis and Chicago, by the way. From the hills of Minnesota, where the rippling waters fall. She's a regular combination called the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she glides along the woodland, the hill and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of engine, hear that lonesome hobo call. He's a-traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball.
Jim.
Folks out here love that Hee Haw story.
No, they didn't like that one bit.
Well, I have others.
You're gonna have to do better than that to get on Hee Haw.
I told you I have a sack full.
You got a better one?
Yes, I have. Once upon a time. All my stories start that way. Once upon a time, there was 2 little rabbits, and they were running from a pack of hound dogs. And they got way up on the hill, and they sit down to rest, waiting for the dogs to catch up. And one little old rabbit looked at the other one and said, "Hey, Eddie Rabbit." You've heard of Eddie Rabbit. Said, "Hey, Eddie Rabbit, do you think we ought to go ahead and outrun them dogs? Or hang around here a little while and outnumber them?"
Oh, Jim. I don't believe you said that.
And Ed said, "You better run, Eddie. We're brothers." Oh, here we go. Hey, how about it? How about that?
Well, that was better than the first one.
Don't think that'll make it on Hee Haw either, huh?
You're not quite ready for the Hee Haw show yet.
Once upon a time, there was an old maid.
Hey,
Wait a
what's
minute,
the
wait. You can't tell that kind of story in here.
This ain't the one you heard.
Are you sure about that?
No, sir, I made this up.
I don't know.
And the old maid I'm talking about was your type.
My type.
Yes, she was rich and breathing.
That's my type, folks.
You're crazy about him. This old maid had a butler that waited on her hand and foot. His name was Claxton. She called him in one morning and she said, "Claxton?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "This minute, you take my shoes off." So Claxton done that. Took her shoes off, set them on the stand beside of her chair. Then she said, "Claxton, take my hose off." Smart aleck. Clean your mind up. It ain't that kind of a story. Claxton took her hose off and laid them with her shoes. Then she said, "Claxton, take my dress off." And Claxton, by this time, oh, cut it out. Knock it off.
Boy, you asked for that one.
You're embarrassing me to tears. Don't do that.
You fit the story.
It ain't that kind of a story.
Well, you said take her hose and her dress off.
I know what I said. Claxton took her dress off and laid them with her hose and her shoes. Then she looked him straight in the eye and she said, "Claxton, don't you ever let me catch you wearing my clothes again." Hey! Here's the Daddy Claxton made his name forever stand, and long be remembered in the courts throughout the land. His earthly race is over and the curtains round him fall. We'll carry him home to victory on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodland, the hill and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of engine, hear that lonesome hobo call. He's a-traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. All right, much obliged. Thank you, folks. Thank you. I'm going to take it on. Throw that away. Throw that booger away. Whew. Lord have mercy. Okay, with that much applause, I may take off a little more here in a few minutes. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you kindly. Thank you all for putting up with all that foolishness in Mr. Acuff's song. Promise me that you'll never tell him what I did to his song. Mr. Acuff brought me to the Grand Ole Opry, and if he ever heard me do that, he'd ship me out just as quick. And he can do that. Not long ago, someone said to Mr. Acuff, "I bet you wish you had $100 for every time you've sang Wabash Cannonball." And he said, "I do have." That tells me all I want to know. I want to do a song for you here, ladies and gentlemen, that I request that I hope y'all will enjoy. Let me see. Someone asked for a ballad, but I don't think we can do. Christine Howard asked for a song that I don't think we can do here tonight, but we'll do one for her and hope that she'll enjoy it as much. Wait a minute. I had another request here. I got to read them all. And Sometimes you wish you'd have read these before you come up here. They write down some pretty funny things. Now, this is here, I don't know about this. It said, when you get up on the stage, knock 'em dead, it's requested from the Mitchell Funeral Home. I'll declare. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Here's a song called Another Bridge to Burn. We hope that you'll all enjoy it. Thank you very much. Most every bridge I've crossed. It seems that everything I've loved, I've lost. When I found you, I thought my luck had turned. Our love's just another bridge to burn. I'll soon light the match and move on. I've already lingered much too long. You're so unconcerned. Our love's just another bridge to burn. Sometimes one must love enough for two. That's how it's been with me and you. I see your face no matter where I turn. Our love's just another bridge to burn. I'll soon light the match and move on. I've already lingered much too long. And you're so unconcerned. Our love's just another bridge to burn. Our love's just another bridge to burn. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. We didn't sing that sentimental song to put anybody in a bad mood. I like to see everybody have a lot of fun and everything when you come to the shows. But a long time ago, I made my charming wife a promise that every show that I did, I'd sing one of those sentimental little ballads for her. And so tonight, we dedicate that song to her. God bless her wherever she may be. And lady, there's no telling where she is tonight. It's 1,000 wonders she ain't right here with us, looking me straight in the eye out there with you folks, because she would be normally. I take her with me just about every place I go. I'd rather do that than to kiss her goodbye. If you saw that mess, you'd pray for little Jimmy Dickens. Lord, what am I going to do with that woman? That's got to be the meanest woman that ever walked on the face of the earth.
Mean.
If you knew what she done to me last week, you'd say she was mean. I have grounds for divorce. You know what she done? Put crazy glue in my preparation H.
That's mean.
That's a sticky situation right there. That's grounds for divorce. You think about it. Did you ever sleep at the foot of the bed when the weather was a whizzing cold and the wind was a whistling around the house and the moon was yellow as gold and you keep your good warm mattress up to Aunt Lizzie and Uncle Fred? Too many kin folks on a bad night, so you went to the foot of the bed. I could always wait till the old folks ate and eat the leavings with grace. The teacher could keep me after school, I'd still have a smile on my face. I could wear the big boys wore our clothes or let sister have my sled. But it always did get my nanny goat to sleep at the foot of the bed. Hey, They say some folks don't know what it is having company all over the place. To wrestle for cover on the winter night with the big Buddha sitting in your face, our cold toenails are scratching your back and the footboard scrubbing your head. I'll tell the world you ain't lost a thing, never sleeping at the foot of the bed. Plus finding out when the kin folks come, the kids brought brand new games. You could see how fat all the old folks was, learn all the babies' names. We had biscuits and custard and chicken pie, we all got Sunday fed. But I know darn well when nighttime come, I was heading for the foot of the bed. I've done it over and over again in this land of the big and free, and in this all-fired battle of life, it's left its mark on me. For I'm always a struggling around at the foot, instead of towards in the head. And I don't think it's caused some a doggone thing, but I'm sleeping at the foot of the bed. Thank you very much. Thank you very kindly. There's an old song that's always requested wherever we go, and if you're one of the folks in our audience that's old enough to have bought one of those records and help it to be the success that it was, I am grateful to you for your kindness and your loyal support. I learned that song from a drinking uncle that I once had. I don't have him anymore. Whiskey and women killed him. He couldn't get neither one, so he laid down and died. Poor old feller. For 30 years, he drove everybody in the family crazy. My poor old aunt tried every way in the world to break that old man from drinking, and the harder she tried, the worse he got. It got so bad one time she tried to scare it out of him. They lived out in the country, and as he staggered up the lane, she hid behind the wood pile. And when he went by, she jumped out with a sheet over her head and hollered, "Boo!" And he said, "Boo, who are you?" She said, "I'm the devil." He said, "Shake, old man, I married your sister." It was bad. I was visiting with them one time on the farm, and I'll never forget it. I looked out the bedroom window about daybreak, and coming up through the barn lot was my drinking uncle. Didn't know he was in the world. He thought he was getting in the house. And he got one foot up on an old rail fence and fell over in the mud with a bunch of old sows and was laying there wallering around with them. And he finally got one of them old sows on his arm and was looking her right in the eye and rubbing her like that. And he said, "Marthy, I've lived with you 32 years. I didn't know you had 2 rows of buttons on your nightgown." Rubbing her like that, Dave. Yeah, he was, looking her right straight in the eye. Let me do a song from our brand new album that we have for you here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in the event that you'd like to get it and take it home with you. Here's a ballad song written by my friend Jeannie Seeley. We hope that you'll enjoy it. It's called "She Always Got what she wanted, and we'll try to do that for you. She wanted romance, romance I gave her. Champagne and roses and nights on the town. She wanted laughter, I entertained her in more ways than one way. I was her clown. She always got what she wanted. She got what she wanted for free. She always got what she wanted. Lord, I wish that she wanted me. She wanted freedom, and I didn't hold her. I sat and waited till she came around. When she got lonely, I was there to lean on. I'd pick her up and she'd put me down. She always got what she wanted. She got what she wanted for free. She always got what she wanted. Lord, I wish that she wanted me. Lord, I wish that she wanted me. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Song from our new album. I want to do another one for you just a little bit later on. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, before we do another song, I'd like to take a moment to say that I am exceptionally proud of the 4 young men that represent little Jimmy Dickens here on the stage tonight, and as a matter of fact, across this great nation, wherever I go. 4 fine young men that you'll find to be sober young men, and you'll find them to be gentlemen and friendly, and I am glad to have them here with me tonight to back little Jimmy Dickens wherever we go. This young man on my left, talented, fine vocalist, our master of ceremonies and a great musician. He's from Alabama. His name is Calvin Crawford. Give him a nice round of applause. Calvin, you're down there. Back on our drums, you heard him sing a little while ago. There's none finer. And he plays good country drums. He's from Oklahoma. Give a nice round of applause to Tommy Holland on our drums back here.
Thank you, Jim.
Over here behind the speakers, some of you folks can't see him over there, the little guy that plays our steel guitar. He's got enough pedals on the floor down there to blow the world up. And he's got one that he's never pushed, and it worries me. I'm afraid when he does, he'll flush little Jimmy Dickens to China, and I don't want to go there. This young man's name is Pee Wee Rogers. Give him a nice round of applause. South Carolina boy. And then we got one here. I'm going to tell them about you. I wasn't going to miss you. stand up there where I did have a newspaper down there. I'm trying to housebreak you. I don't know.
It didn't work.
You threw it away, didn't you? Well, you haven't been well, have you? You've been sick, and I think you're going to be all right. We wormed you good last week, and you ought to be all right now. You're getting the color back in your face and everything. Friendly, talented young David Nye. Give him a nice round of applause. Good little guy. Here's a song I recorded one time as a joke, and 1 million folks went out and bought the record. And I'm proud of that. It made the gravy a little thicker in our kitchen. One fine day as I was a-walking down the street, spied a big man with rags upon his feet. Took a penny from my pocket, in his tin cup I did drop it, and I heard him say as I made my retreat, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may an elephant caress you with his toes, may your wife be plagued with the runners in her hose, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose. My laundryman is really on his toes, found $100 bill among my clothes. When he called me, I came a-running, gave him back his dime for phoning, and I heard him saying as I turned to go, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may an elephant caress you with his toes, may your wife be plagued with the runners in her hose, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose. I was way behind one day to catch a train. The taxi driver said we'll make it just the same. A speed cop made it with us, and as he wrote out the ticket, I stood by politely waiting for my change. May the bird of paradise fly up your nose, may an elephant caress you with his toes, may your wife be plagued with the runners in her hose, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose. Yes, Sandy. Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much, folks. Y'all excuse me for doing this. This is embarrassing, but Lord, I just took a bath there a minute ago, didn't I? Huh? Oh, my skin's leaking, Calvin. On the upper lip, I'm sweating like a cow, you know, and those that silly little song, The Bird of Paradise, has got one line in it after today that makes a lot of sense to me. It said, a speed cop made it with us. I want y'all to know that little Jimmy Dickens and one of your fine Arkansas highway patrolmen got well acquainted today. Did. These guys don't let me drive much. I hadn't gone very far. And I was driving along there, and I saw those lights flashing, and I pulled off the side of the road, and the friendliest officer you ever saw got out of that car. He had that pad in his hand, and he's smiling from the time he got out of there. And on his way back, I'm thinking, what am I going to tell him about me speeding? And I happened to think a few years ago I was working in one of your fine cities in Arkansas for the Fraternal Order of Police. And while I was there, they gave me one of those little honorary Fraternal Order of Police cards to carry in my wallet. And I sat on it for 3 years wondering what to do with it, showed it to that patrolman, and he told me.
Didn't fit, did it?
No, it didn't fit. But he was a nice officer. He smiled all the time he was writing that ticket. And even after he had given us the ticket and was driving away, he stuck his arm out the window and gave us the peace sign. And when I thought he was out of sight, I gave him half of it back. That didn't bother me. And he'll be waiting for us as we leave tonight, I imagine. All right, here's another song from our album, ladies and gentlemen, one that I wrote, and I hope that you will enjoy it. My friend Merle Haggard thought enough of this song to record it for us back a few years ago in his album called Going Where the Lonely Goes. Our song in that album and in our album is one that I wrote. It's called Shopping for Dresses, and we hope that you'll enjoy it. Down through the ages, Men have died for their women and done so many times. Each time I loved one, I've always lost one. Guess the right one is so hard to find. Shopping for dresses with no one to wear them, one in each color, one in each style. I'll find a lady someday to wear them. My shopping will be done for a while. Somewhere a lady is shopping for breeches, comparing the value, appraising each pair. Someday the good Lord will put us together. We'll both have new wardrobe to wear. Shopping for dresses with no one to wear them, one in each color, one in each style. I'll find a lady someday to wear them. My shopping will be done for a while. My shopping will be done for a while. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very kindly. I'd like to reach back in the pages of our little Jimmy Dickens catalog and pull out the first song that we ever recorded. Thanks for buying the record, ladies and gentlemen, and establishing the name of little Jimmy Dickens as a country music entertainer and a Grand Ole Opry person. I am grateful to you for your kindness. When I was a little boy around the table at home, I remember very well when company would come. I would have to be right still until the whole crowd ate. My mama always said to me, Jim, take a tater and wait. And taters never did taste good with chicken on the plate, but I had to eat them just the same. That is why I look so bad. I have these puny ways, because I always had to take an old cold tater and wait. I thought that I'd starve to death before my time would come. All that chicken they would eat and just leave Jim the bun. The feet and neck are all that's left up on the china plate. It makes you pretty darn weak to take an old cold tater and wait. And taters never did taste good with chicken on the plate, but I had to eat them just the same. That is why I look so bad. I have these puny ways, because I always had to take an old cold tater and wait. And then the preachers, they would come to stay a while with us. I would have to slip around and raise a little fuss, in fear that I might spill the beans or break a china plate. My mama always said to me, Jim, take a tater and wait. And taters never did taste good with chicken on the plate, but I had to eat them just the same. That is why I look so bad. I have these beauty ways, because I always had to take an old cold tater and wait. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the applause on the old cold tater song. I'm grateful to you for that. Thank you. You're a nice audience here tonight. I have a special song that I want to do by request here in just a moment. But if I may, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take a moment of your time to tell you about our Grand Ole Opry picture history book. Being a member of the Opry cast, they authorize us to offer you this book in the event that you'd like to have it. It's the same book you'll obtain at Opryland or at the Grand Ole Opry, and that's what it looks like from the outside. And on the inside cover, you'll find 167 odd pages, I think it is, 160 some pages of Grand Ole Opry history from the beginning up until the present time. Regardless of who your favorite Grand Ole Opry star might be, if they're a present member of the Grand Ole Opry, you'll find a picture of that person and that individual and an autobiography about them in this book. On page 27, we have a picture of Mr. and Mrs. Little Jimmy Dickens, and on 38, 39, and 40, we've got Dolly.
All right. I'll take it.
38, 39, and 40. They're all in the book. If you'd care to get it, it's the same price here as it is at Opryland. It's $4. We'll be glad to serve you with it, ladies and gentlemen, and hope that you'll enjoy having it in your home. Here's our new album that I was speaking of. It will go on sale sometime the latter part of this month or latter part of October or the first part of November. It'll be on sale on television for $10. You can have it tonight for $6 if you care to take it home with you. Our brand new album containing all brand new songs, produced by my friend Porter Wagner, who spent tireless hours in the studio to see that you got a good album. And I think that you will enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen. We're kind of proud of it. There's a picture of Barbara Mandrell. She inducted me into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and I'm grateful to little Barbara for allowing us to use that picture. It sells for $6 if you'd like to get it, and the cassette is the same price. David has a little Jimmy Dickens hat there that sells for $6, and you also have a little Jimmy Dickens bandana that sells for $3. We'll autograph any of these for you, and if you care just to come and shake hands with us, ladies and gentlemen, and make our acquaintance a little more personal, that costs nothing, and we'll be delighted if you would do that. We'll be on the front of the stage here after the show is over to serve you with those things. In the album is a song that I'm going to do for you now. 13, 14 years ago, I introduced this young lady by way of television. There was only a limited amount of single records pressed on this one particular song, and when they were gone, there were no more, and folks and thousands of folks have written me from all over the world asking where they can obtain a record. We included it in the new album if you'd like to get it tonight. I hope that each of you in our audience will enjoy as we attempt once more to do this conversation between a broken man and a simple little doll called Raggedy Ann. And I thank the folks who asked for it tonight. I appreciate it very much. You sure have been quite a doll, Raggedy Ann. Yes, sir, quite a doll. And I didn't even know you till I started making these trips up the hill to talk to you. And now I'm beginning to see more and more why my little baby loved you so much. Sometimes, Raggedy Ann, I'd almost swear you're just about as much alive as I am. Because when I hold you up close to me, I can feel every ounce of the warm glow of love that my baby must have felt. And you know what, Raggedy Ann? I'd give anything that I own on this earth If I knew half of the memories that have passed through them little black button eyes and hid themselves in your tear-stained stuffing, I bet you're just busting out with little old childhood secrets that could set this lonely man's heart aglow. And sometimes I still have to laugh at the way you had to sample all of her food, see all of her little new dresses, and answer 1,000 questions. Why, it's really a small wonder that you're all in one piece. The way she used to drag you around by one leg everywhere she went. But you didn't seem to mind, because you always had that big old smile on your face. And I bet that smile's dried more tears and cured more little old hurts than this man could ever hope to kiss away. And I want to thank you. Thank you, Raggedy Ann, for helping me raise her after her mama died. Somehow you stepped right into mama's shoes, and that much farther into our hearts. Then the night of the rain. Do you remember? The night that the fever took my baby, and you laid right beside her while I did everything I could, right up to the end. And since then, it's been me and you, Raggedy Ann. Just me and you. But the years haven't seemed to bother you that much. I know you're a little bit faded here and there from the wind and the rain, but that heart-warming charm and that spark of love seems stronger now than it ever did. And look at me. I barely made it up the hill today. Can't even brush the dirt from my knees. So don't look for me tomorrow. I might not make it. And I'd like to take you with me right now. But I know that you're happier beside my baby and keeping her warm. I gotta go now. Gotta leave you. And the only thing that comes to my mind to say to you is, God bless you. And you've sure been quite a doll, Raggedy Ann. Yes, sir. You're quite a doll.
Little Jimmy Dickens, ladies and gentlemen. Hall of Famer, Little Jimmy Dickens.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very kindly. Well, sir, y'all make a little guy stand tall when you do that. We appreciate your kindness, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. I'm sure I speak for everyone here tonight when we say that we hope that you've enjoyed the country music entertainment here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and that sometime in the future we might have the added pleasure of coming back and being with you again, when our one aim will always be to bring you the best show that we know how to present in our own simple manner. If we say or do anything during our performance with our little jokes or anything to embarrass anyone, it's not done intentionally. Everything we do is for your entertainment, and we hope that you accept it as such. Come and see us at the Grand Ole Opry, and maybe while you're there you'll take a tour of the Home of the Stars. And if you get by the residence of Little Jimmy Dickens, let me assure you there will be no walls built around my house. There will be no security guards on the Dickens residence gate. You come and see us, because without you we couldn't live among the stars. Thank you for what you've done for us. Let us share what we might have with you. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Appreciate it.
How about a big hand for Little Jimmy Dickens? Take a bow. We've got some things we'd like to give to you, Jimmy. Just stay here. And we've got some more door prizes. Jim, on behalf of Wendell and Jenny and the Guff Oil Company, I'd like for you to open that and give that to you.
Oh, my goodness. Now what do we hold this together? Somebody. Thank you.
We've got some more door prizes to give away to you.
Oh, look at here, folks. Isn't that beautiful? Seiko what? Oh, my.
I don't want you late for another show.
Thank you, Wendell.
Don, come here.
Appreciate it so much. Really grateful to you for that. I do thank you. Excuse me, Don.
Jim, you put on a super show. And for that, I'm going to give you my eagle.
Oh, my. Look at here. Look at here. That's something, Don. Don, you rascal, you. I tried to buy that from him, and he wouldn't sell it to me. Now, what do you think about that? Give him a nice round of applause, folks. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Jimmy. We appreciate it. And while we're giving the door prizes away, we don't have a shower, but it rained today, and that side ditch is full of water. If you want to go clean up before you get over here. All right, he'll be right over here. The boys have got to set up shop. I tried to get them to set up a while ago, but you know how hard-headed they are. Here we go. Look at your tickets. And before I forget it, on behalf of myself, my wife, and the Guilford people, I appreciate you supporting us. We're going to try it again next year. I don't know who we'll come up with, but we'll try somebody. And I want to say a thanks to the Greene County Fair Board for having us a place like this. You know, if we still had to be in the rodeo arena, the good Lord, one of these days is going to hit us right square in the face with the rain. But we can get around it now. Give the Fair Board a nice hand, won't you, for this nice building. Ticket holder 237263. 237263. Now we're going to go fast. You come on up here. I'm going to call another number. Come on up. 237263, Jenny. All right. Ticket holder 237174.